Let's dive into the dollar index. All right, we have the daily, so we've shown some bearish momentum, but we're showing a rejection there off the bottoms and possibly a continuation upwards. So remember yesterday I said we needed to close below here, okay, below that wick and below this wick. If you look at the 4 hour, that is our inverted, our inverse head and shoulders. That didn't happen. So we're now expecting to continue upwards with the dollar. So the dollar is forecasted to gain some strength for the rest of the week, based on not being able to close beneath this support. All right. So let's look into a few of the pairs. We have GU. So I'm in GU right now. I'm in this trade. We have the Fibonacci retracement on the 4 hour right there to the 61.8. And then we have this one up to the golden zone area as well. Okay, so right in there, okay. 61.8, 50%, that's the golden zone. We're seeing a nice rejection, so we can, if everything goes well, we'll go down to this level at least. Eventual target down here, but that will probably be later next week. So that's GU. So I've actually entered here just a little bit ago. Let's go into the 1 hour chart. So we have our zone there, which has been retested 3 times. So you see the first one here. Test 1, test 2, test 3, all failed to break. Also, I have daily drawn over there, which means that it's a daily level of support and resistance. So how I found that is through the daily chart. And I'll zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, and then right here, okay? So where the daily candles came in and stalled out, I've drawn a line and made that a daily support, resistance, key level, whatever you want to call it. And that lines up with the 61.8, 50% golden zone. So that gives us 2 very good confirmations along with momentum leading downwards. So that's really 3 confirmations in a trend. I'd take that trade all day. Okay, if I lose, it's okay. I have set my stops pretty tight. Okay, pretty tight above here. Just for the fact that I do believe that that is the end of the push up. Now we could come down into this zone here where you have the stall of 4 hour candles, and then we could get another bounce up to test one last time, but I still don't believe it would break this high. If it does, it's probably gonna continue upwards anyway. So yeah, that's what we're looking for here, a 1 to 5 risk reward, so pretty solid. Hopefully we'll get there by the end of the week, but we'll see. All right, so that is GBP USD. We have EURJPY. Have the same action here. So this EURJPY and GBP JPY are, pretty similar. Let's go ahead and split this. And let me put my settings here, black dot gray, and then actually I'm gonna keep these on. We'll keep the EMAs on because I never really use those in the videos. So let's go to the daily chart on both EJ and GJ, and we'll see the similarities here. So right off the bat, you can tell how similar they are. We have tops formed, continuation down, retest, continuation down, retest, looking for another continuation down, okay? Same thing here in GJ, continuation down, retest, continuation down, retest. And you can draw your zones on there as well. You know, EJ is a little tighter, so EJ has that daily level there, and it's tapped into the daily level. GJ, on the other hand, hasn't actually tapped into that daily level, but it has come into this wicking area, which still technically forms the zone, and that's why we're seeing the rejection here. Okay, so it's gone as deep as that. It doesn't always have to come up to the body level to where the closes are, because these wicks, if you look at a 4-hour chart, okay, we'll look at 4-hour charts on both of them. If you look at it, it's actually tested the level very well. And then if you look at EJ to the left, it's actually gone a little bit deeper into the level. So if you look over here to the right and you draw a zone, so take it from the bottom here all the way across. You know, you can encapsulate that wick, you can go to that wick, you can go even as far as that wick. So it's gone into the zone, through the zone, came back out, through the zone, came back out, and then now it's working its way down. So that's pretty solid confirmation. These EMAs here are just exponential moving averages. I'll make a video to go into this stuff later. I don't really use these a whole lot, but basically what these are is it shows trend, momentum, and it's just the sum, the average of the last however many candles. So for instance, if we look at this blue EMA, it's an 8 EMA, all right? So it takes the average, so say we're on this candle here, say we're looking at that candle, it's going to take the average of the previous 8 and then draw this line based on the average of the previous 8, okay? If the line is below the price, you're in an uptrend, price is strong, bullish. Once it crosses, it could potentially roll over to the downside, okay? Once the blue goes on top, same thing with the orange, okay? The orange is a 14 EMA. So the last 14 candles have been averaged in to this line based on this candle, okay? So if it crosses the 14, that's extra confirmation that it's going downwards. So what you can do, now that you know if it crosses these and these two EMAs are on top of the price, such as up here, it's likely to continue downwards until it breaks it. But you look at this and say, oh, it's crossed, okay, why didn't it go down? All right, what we're looking for is a cross of the EMAs. So right here, see how they crossed? The blue crossed over top of the orange, and then they both stayed on top of the price. That's a good indication of a downtrend. That's a good indication of a trend change. And that's another confirmation to stay in a sell, get in a sell, trend reversal, all the above, okay? There's also the simple moving average. We're not going to get into that. I don't want to make this video too long. But essentially, that's what you're looking for in the exponential EMAs. And as you can see, we've stayed above it. We've actually broken through, came back below. It crossed here, and now we've carried it further down, and we're in an area now again where we've broken, crossed, and now I'm expecting the same thing, crossing back through. So we're below it right now. If we stay and close below that, we would continue downwards more than likely, unless we get something crazy going on with some news. But this 4-hour candle here is very important for the remainder of this trend. So we'll need to see a close below the EMAs and preferably below this last 4-hour candle to continue downwards. All right, let's clean this back up. Back to EJ. So again, we've come into the zone, wicked out, tested that area nicely, and now continuing downwards. Okay, should bottom out here and potentially even continue on down. So another way to find targets besides looking to the left at areas of support and resistance is drawing the fib. Down, up, hit the 61, you can expect continuation to the 27% area right in through here. Okay, I'll make another video of my Fibonacci settings. Okay, for instance, it's here. If you want to screenshot that, you can plug that in. But I'm going to make a separate video on just Fibonacci. Anyhow, let's move on to Euro USD. As you can see, Fibonacci again. But this one was based on the 1 hour chart. So I'm going to erase it for now and I'll show you later. What I want us to see is price. It wanted to go down into the downtrend, then it kicked up, but it never broke this high. Okay, it never broke that high. It actually never even tested the full high. And then we rolled over here as expected. I'm actually not in this trade as well. I'm not in this trade either. I was going to enter last night, but I was going to bed and I was already in a few other trades that were based on the dollar, so I didn't want to overexpose myself. Anyhow, that would have been a nice trade. 1 to 6 risk reward. You know, we're already down 40, 50 pips, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, 50 pips. So it's going well so far. But to enter that trade, I use the Fibonacci. And what you can do, take it from high to low, and price came up, tapped into the 50%, and then rolled over. It's as simple as that, really. You can use the Fibonacci on any time frame. Just it holds more validity on the higher time frames. Let's move on here to Aussie dollar. I am in this trade though. I entered this one before going to sleep last night. Similar situation here as EU. We've showed our hand here as we want to go down. It's came up, retested, it's went down. It didn't make a new low, so that's a little concerning. Profits will probably be taken down in this general area, at least partials, due to the fact that it hasn't made a lower low, so we're not 100% sure on the trend, but I am, confident it will make its way down to match that bottom, to match that low. Anyhow, let's look at price. Made the high, came up, retested the high, didn't quite reach it, didn't break it at all, and now we've rolled over. We can use Fibonacci here as well. You know, if you honestly, if you if you take it from the tip here, let's go from this one because this is the most recent high. And go to the bottom, you can see it's tapped into 78.6, which is like the last resort of continuation in your trend. So it didn't break that, closed beneath it, and then we fell over, rolled over. So let's look at the 1 hour. Again, you can use, last night, this is what I did. I used a Fibonacci from here to here. Once it comes back past this green, this 23.6 ratio, the Fibonacci is active, so we're just waiting on the highest place to sell it from. And we got pretty close, got right in through there, but it ended up pushing almost all the way to the 78.6. And now we've actually almost hit both targets here on the Fibonacci, so I'll be looking to take some profits around this level. But yeah, I mean that's the end of the week target down here, but we'll see how price reacts today and tomorrow. And we have GBP JPY. So this one's been kind of annoying, kind of a pain in the butt. It's just, if you look at it from a big perspective, it looks a lot more clear. You have the initial downward movement, the retracement, broken through the level of support, retraced it as resistance to test, and it's tested that zone 1, 2, 3 times and then rolled over. But it's had these massive spikes to the downside and then retracements, along with these wicks here. So you have this zone with GJ, sorry. Um, we have this solid zone of wicking. So in order to break through this, we're going to need to see a candle like that. We're going to need to see a strong volume, high volume push to the downside. And once we get that, if we get that, then it's going to bottom out down in this area, I would say, okay? But we need that strong volume push or else we're not going to make it through this zone and it might reject to the upside. We will see though. We had some bad news with the pound this morning as far as taxation. I think they're going to implement more taxes to kind of make up for all this stimulus stuff. Not real sure on the specifics of that. I just know it was negative news towards the pound. So we'll see how this reacts. Right now, it's actually pushing up, um, which is not what I want to see. I want to see it in order to continue down. I really wanted to see this 4-hour candle close down in this area, but as long as it closes below this high, it should be okay. We'll see, we'll see. Still 38 minutes left. I am in this trade here. I entered this morning 2 times. So we've formed this resistance, formed this support, we've broken it. I ended up here actually on some lower time frames. So some really low time frames actually. I think I was down into the 5 minute actually. So yeah, we've had rejection. So all these rejections are lower. And then we've had a spike, another spike, and I entered, carried it down to here. I also entered again here. So I think that one was actually on the 1 minute, right in through there. After it broke this low, retraced, I entered. But yeah, so this is it's looking good so far for the rest of the week. We'll see how GJ reacts here. It could send a nasty spike up and then go down. It's pretty volatile, so we'll see how it responds and how it reacts. But that's gonna be it. Okay, I'll post this up on YouTube, post it in the Telegram. Be sure and join the Telegram if you haven't already. It's gonna be pretty valuable. Once people get on there, I'm gonna start, posting a lot more. But there's already a significant amount of posts on there. And once we get some more subscribers on the Telegram, I'll update it more frequently. And you guys can, use my analysis for the week, or I'll post my trades, and you guys can copy the trades, whatever you want to do. I'm not a financial advisor, so you can't expect everything to work out that I'm putting on there. So just trade at your own risk, and this is just basically for educational purposes only. So, all right, guys, have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.